What was your initial experience with Max Out?
I was invited down to Florida to experience what this Max Out piece of equipment, this workout was back in the end of 2009.
Okay.
And I flew down there on a whim. The person who invited me down knew that I was a little bit off in the head because I'd just run across the state of New Jersey. So he said, if you like that, you'll like this. So I hopped on a plane, flew down, went right to Max Out, which was just outside of Orlando. And after about 12 reps, I puked. And which I don't know if that was designed or not, but I know that it was the most hardest thing I've ever done physically on my body in such a short, condensed amount of time. And my body just went into revolt stage. I immediately thought to myself, whatever this is, I'd never felt anything like that before, 2 different weights. I was real heavy on the negative. It just did something to my body that I'd never experienced before. And I'm like, whatever this is, if there's a plan or a play to turn this into something, I want to be part of it. And it was an amazing feeling knowing that I had something happen to me that I'd never had happen before.
And it was such a unique technology that it needed to be brought out and brought to the rest of the world. And because of the uniqueness, I instantly saw that there was nothing else like this in strength development anywhere. And that's when we got together and brought all that wonderful technology here to Pennsylvania, established Max Out Strength Studios in its current form of what it is today, and have been delivering that unique workout to our clients for over 4 years now. And Matt, tell me a little bit about what that workout's all about.
We can't really talk about the workout until we go back in time a little bit to about 2011, when we had the fortune of bringing on someone who is world-renowned or soon will be world-renowned in the strength and conditioning world and to the mass public. A friend of mine who I grew up with had played football at West Virginia and was coached by a gentleman by the name of Mike Barwis. And Mike was his strength coach. And when I introduced Max Out to my friend for the first time, after he was completely astounded by what had happened to his body, he said, "You got to call my boy Mike Barwis." Through a stroke of genius, we were able to get Mike to come down to Pennsylvania to take a look at the tower and be a guest of ours. And for whatever reason, he felt that we were worthy enough to become partners with him. And the rest is, as they shall say, strength and conditioning history, because we are now at a place where, had it not been for that moment, we wouldn't be here today.
You're absolutely right. I remember that day when Mike came down. He walks through the door, and Mike looks at what we have, looks at the tower, and says, "Let me do some squats and feel what this thing will do." So I remember loading the squat rack with 315 pounds. And then putting on 50 or 60 pounds of assistance, and he went in, did 5 or 6 reps, got off, and said, "You guys don't even know what you have here."
Yeah, and Mike has that way of talking that it makes you want to impersonate him. It's like Cookie Monster or something like that. You can't do Cookie Monster without making a Cookie Monster voice, and you're never going to be able to do a Mike Barwis impersonation without getting into that Mike Barwis voice. Got to have that. You boys don't know what you got.
It was really the real defining moment for me when an expert in the field said to us, "You guys have something special." And that's when our relationship with Mike really began to flourish.
We were just a couple guys from Royersford, and I'm a cop, and you're in real estate development, and then nowhere in either one of those does workout guys meet.
No.
And we were at least smart enough to recognize an opportunity that we had, and we took advantage of that opportunity. And then we were smart enough to realize that when we can't bring the knowledge and expertise that's required, and we didn't have that in-house, so we had to go out and find that. It's kind of like having Einstein come to work for you. You don't have Mike Barwis out there in the world just on a whim joining up with 2 guys who have no business in the business they're in. and becoming an integral part of our success story.
And he really embraced us at a time when we really had no reason to be embraced. I mean, he was at the pinnacle of his craft, and here we are. We just have a really cool piece of equipment that does something absolutely unique for the body when it's properly employed for the use by athletes, by student athletes, by older folks, by seniors, by the general public, just anyone. When it's properly used, using the information and the workouts that Mike has put together, and his understanding of what that piece of equipment's able to do for someone, the results speak for themselves.
We do strong better than anybody else. We can make the human body stronger, faster, more efficiently, and safer than anybody else on the planet. And that's fantastic. That is something that is a deliverable that we can do every single time, regardless of the client. We have this piece of equipment. It's the greatest technology ever made in the history of strength and conditioning. It's a tower that attaches to any piece of equipment that allows us to then provide an overload on a negative. It's an eccentric load, it's called in the business. And we can put force on the body on a negative resistance and cause the body, if you do it over time and habitually, to adjust to that force, which is what causes muscle growth. And it's been hard for us over the last 3 years to figure out how to tell that story. Like, what is our messaging to the world to try to get them to understand that, yes, we have a piece of equipment that no one's ever brought to market before. We own it. We have the rights to it. No one else can do this. It does something magical for the body that no one else can replicate.
It truly does.
And you can't figure out a way to say, okay, guess what, guys? You're going to work out 1 day a week. You're going to get strength gains like you've never seen before. People look at me and they go, what is this? The thigh blaster, the ab roller, the 4-minute abs versus the 5-minute abs. And they're right. How do we, and we haven't done to date a very good job of figuring out how to get that message relayed to the world without making it seem as if we're trivializing it and making it almost like a shtick. And that's not what we want to do. We want to figure out how do we get people to understand that there is better, smarter ways to do things. Science evolves. Technology evolves. We no longer need to just raise and lower the same weight. There's now a way to overload the body with significant weight in order to force the muscle to react and accommodate that weight so that it can build new muscle fiber and get you stronger. It's a way to do it. Anybody that's in the strength and conditioning world understands the theory behind it. But getting mom and dad or Johnny or Jane to come in and spend money at our place to join to get the benefits of that, as a business, we haven't always done well at trying to get that message out. And I think, as we grew over the last 3 to 4 years, we figured out that it's really not about the workout or the technology or any of that. It's about when someone walks in the door, what do they get from us? What does that mean to them? Mm-hmm. And what is their story to tell as a result of having been to Max Out? And I think that's ultimately where we're going to capture the interest of the public. We're going to get people to understand what it is we do here, because it is, yes, getting you strong in 1 day a week, but strong means something different to you than it does to me, than it does to a high school student athlete, than it does to a senior citizen.
You're absolutely right, Matt. And we do strong better than anybody else. We have the science, we have the workouts, all of that is backed up, as I said, by science. But what does being strong mean? Strong means a lot of different things. It means something to every person who walks through our door. Strong can mean more confidence. Strong could mean independence. Strong can mean getting to the next level. Strong could mean happiness, better body image. Could mean anything. But being strong at the core of all of those things, it's a confidence, it's self-esteem, it's being strong. And inner strength it starts with physical strength.
Strong is a is a relative term that not a lot of people understand, that you have to be strong. Your body's got to be strong in order to do anything better.
You're right.
And that's what we have to sell to people, so to speak, their story and how that strength is going to change their life in whatever way it's needed in their life. And individually, that changes amongst each person. Moms and dads have different reasons why they want to be strong. As a cop, I have a reason why I want to be strong, so I can do my job without worrying about getting overcome by a bad guy. You, as a 40-year-old male, have the reason why you want to be strong. A 40-year-old mom has a reason why she wants to be strong. Everybody has their own reason that they want to be strong and what it does positive in their life that helps them do whatever it is they need to do better. And the hardest part we've had to date is figuring out how to spread that message to the masses through whether it's social media, through advertising, through marketing, through print and video media. We've really done a poor job of messaging that, because how do you convince somebody who doesn't really care about the science and the technology part that what they're getting is unique and never been done before?
How do we tell our story? As you say, what's our elevator speech? Everybody, in business, they say, tell me your elevator speech. I don't have an elevator speech. Our elevator speech are the elevator speeches of all our clients.
Right.
Collectively, together, that's our elevator speech. And I can't deliver that because it's not about us, it's about them.
We're at a point now, four plus years into this journey, where we've been through the ups and downs, and we've made mistakes, and we've course corrected, as you said, and we've brought on a team of people locally and also in our ownership group that believe in the mission of Max Out, that we have the ability, not just with our current Max Out Strength Studio business, but in our manufacturing side, to offer our technology, the benefits of what we can provide, the brains and the passion of Mike Barwis, and combine all that into something that is going to change not just the people that come into a Max Out Strength Studio, but on Division I pro high school level athletics, where we can provide to them that technology and the instruction manual that goes with it so that they can benefit from it and get the health benefits. And people don't understand that, at least in the general public, the knowledge that everything works from the inside out. We all look in a mirror and go, oh, I don't like my legs or my butt or my abs, or it's all an external view. But in reality, everything works from the inside out. So if your musculoskeletal system isn't strong, you're not going to be able to do those things that are going to change the external part of the body.
And to add to that, the inside out, as you become stronger mentally.
Absolutely.
And you become stronger. You have the able to overcome, mentally able to overcome the obstacles that have been holding you back, and put those behind you. And then as you are able to overcome those difficulties, and what's next? What's the next?
Right.
What's the next obstacle? That's one of the most exciting things, Matt. It's really we know that we are able to help anyone who walks through the door, no matter what their stage of life is, what their situation is, what they want to accomplish in their life, and what story do they ultimately want to write as their own. We have the ability to start someone down that path.
When you go to work out, if you're not doing the proper things for your body to make it stronger properly, using science and technology at its best, then you're wasting time. And you're ultimately putting your body at risk for injury, for deterioration to the point where you need to get replacement joints, a number of different medical problems that could come from that. And our goal is to create the most safest, the most precise, the most scientifically designed workout ever created on the market for strength training. And to do that, it took a lot of work. It's not like you just throw that together and see what happens. We have thousands of clients who've been through our doors, and not a one has ever stopped coming because they didn't get what they were asked for. And we didn't deliver on what we promised. everybody gets what we promise. And that's, I don't know of anybody that can say that. I don't know if anybody can say they went to a personal trainer and got what they paid for every single time across the board. I don't think it happens.
Well, there's certainly a value in what we do and how we do it, and our ability to do it safely, efficiently, quickly, and without injury. We have hundreds of stories about the success that our clients have been able to achieve after coming to see us. And that's really where I think the Max Out brand is going to grow. There are hundreds now to tell that story. Soon there will be thousands. Beyond that, there will be tens of thousands of clients of Max Out Strength Studio, ultimately, who will be telling our story.
I'm lucky enough to be not only a partner in the company, but I'm also on a daily basis interacting with our clients. I train people. I'm here a lot interacting with them. So I get to see the benefits of the one-on-one attention, the way the clients walk in a little bit scared because they know they got their workout coming, but they walk out the door completely satisfied that they got what they asked for. And I love the way that we've trained our strength coaches to care, and that above all else, we have to have a relationship with our clients, that the workout is the workout. It's going to be the same. They're going to have to go through it. It's going to be hard. But during that time, there's got to be that connection that a strength coach has with their client. And that's the special sauce right there. That's what makes everybody feel special individually. And then when they're here and there's multiple people doing the workout, they collectively have the same misery because they're all going through it. And they all have that same feeling of, oh my God, this is tough, but it's so worth it. And then when they walk out the door, they know they don't have to see us for a while, and that their body's going to heal, and then it's going to regenerate, and it's going to grow back, and it's going to come back stronger so that the next week they can tackle the same challenge again.
And how does that make you feel?
Personally, it's amazing. I love the fact that I am, on many levels, a part of their success story, and that I'm able to bring to market an opportunity for people to experience that. And the more there are of that, the more success stories and the more feeling of accomplishment there's going to be for the client, for the strength coaches that are training them, and then for the owners that are being a part of that entire conglomeration of success. And I think that's special. I think the stories that are being told when people walk out the door, when somebody says, man, your arms look great, and they go, I go to this place called Max Out. I've heard of that. What's it like? And they talk about not the tower. They're not talking about any of that. They're talking about the interaction they're having when they're here, the energy that they feel when they're inside, what they walk out with as far as their accomplished goals and things of that nature. That to me is important. And I love the fact when people say someone referred me, and that means that the person that did the referring got what they asked for.
Got what they asked for. You bet.